Okay, here we go. Thank you for being here. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Well, everyone. It's just one person today, I think. I think we have at most one or two people today, as far as I can see. And I'm not feeling great today. So it's probably going to be a short live stream, but I'm going to do my best. I'm probably going to feel better as as I get on the loop. But yeah, I'm a bit unwell in my belly. It's not intestinal. I don't know what it is, but it's yeah, I'm not scared, but yeah, it's just a little bothered about it. So yeah, okay, there we are. Yeah, stuff is working here. There it is. There you go. Audio is working. Everything's doing fine. Okay. Again, welcome. Thank you for being there. Thank you for coming in. The two of you now. So thanks for being there. And yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. Oh, by the way, I saw now Dan Ren, the legend Dan Ren, is working on some server stuff, which is amazing. Rust based server stuff, which is fantastic. I really can't wait to see the results. He showed a little demo there in the of his template in the Discord server. I very much recommend joining the Discord server. It's fantastic. The stuff you can get there is awesome. So yeah, I highly recommend going in there because you'll get some incredible stuff to use for yourself. So yeah, just a second. I think I have my audio on here. Bit of a mess. Let me see. Oh, so today, one thing we're going to do is I was asked also by Dan Ren about the triggering a destroy event. We had like some kind of destroy handler that was more like wide, like project wide, I guess, for components. And I think this should be already existing. I think we have something that works in every situation. I don't think all of the destroys work in all situations, but I think that some of them really do work in all situations. Let me see. I'm also reading here Dan Ren's. It's just raw here. I think here. Because I was reading the other one and I got this new one. So I got a real problem to solve. When a client joins room, it spawns game prefab, which includes up to 5 components: character, camera, etc. on it. When I leave room back to lobby, I delete game prefab from scene, but component instances is not deleting. And when I rejoin, it again spawns game prefab with already existing components, so it doubles them and so on. Maybe I missed something though, but all room gets nuked, so theoretically all component instances should be disposed, but it's not. Is there like a method to nuke all component instances in the scene except the specific object 3D? I mean, you could just go through all components. Components are mapped. I'm just gonna write this here. I'm reading you and answering so he knows I'm reading your answer. Yeah, so we're on the Discord. We're on the feature request channel of Discord, and we're looking at this there. So as it's going on. But let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna try. Sorry, I'm sleepy today, but I'll join stream, says Dambar Ren. All right, yeah. It's don't worry about it. You can watch it later, mate. Don't worry about this. Just see. Watch it later anyway. Don't worry, mate. Yeah, that's the cool thing about live streams, right? You can just join anytime and you just watch the video later, right? So that's pretty cool. Let's get one mate in because yeah, I need it. I really need it. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. When client, let's get this one at a time, right? One thing at a time. Sorry, one thing at a time. Client joins room, spawns game prefab. So we have a game prefab that is being spawned when a client joins a room, right? So I'm guessing there's a scene here, right? And like a just one scene, a master scene, say, right? And you are instantiating a game prefab which has the stuff that you need for that game, right? All the logic for that game. It's 5 components: the character, the camera, etc. I'm going to guess also other kinds of logic for this game. Oh, we have Beavers Manager, is it? Beavers MGR. Thanks for joining, mate. We're going to be making a game. We're going to be completing the game we were making. We're doing this no code system for a game engine, and before that I'm answering questions about the engine. So on our Discord, which you can find at rogueengine.io, you'll find a Discord link there, and also in the description. Well, you're on Twitch, you can find out on Twitch as well there, down below. And yeah, I'm answering questions live. Someone's asking questions right now on the Discord, and I say, okay, I'm just gonna answer them. You know, it's a good chance to come here live and, you know, respond questions. Anyone needs anything, it's the best use of this time, I think. So yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing you have this scene where you're spawning this game prefab, right? Which has all of these the character, the camera, and their components, and I'm guessing also some kind of game logic things attached to it. When I leave room back to lobby, I delete the game prefab from scene, but component instances is not deleting. And when I rejoin it again, spawns game prefab with already existing components, so it doubles them. That's strange. You should, every time when you delete a component, it does delete everything. It should be deleting everything in it. It says, but whole scene gets nuked on leave, so theoretically all component instances should be disposed, but it's not. So what you're saying is that some things in your scene, like even though if the object is gone, the game logic itself still there. What I'm thinking is that is the component itself there are a few things that could happen here, right? So one thing is, if you have some things that are not really components, some things that are running in the background, let's say you're running a service, some kind of something in the background that is not attached to the life cycle of our components. So say if I start, for instance, the rapier physics, right? I will not be completely disabling rapier unless I specifically disable it. So if I remove all the components and I don't disable rapier, rapier will still be running in the background, or will still be there. So if you have any sort of process going on, something that's running, it will keep running. Maybe if you're using the RE on update, that could still be running when you get out. So I will look into that first, but I would very much like to see how this is happening, because when you destroy a component, then I will look into how you're removing your objects. I have you know the way I always remove the objects. You know how I always do the stupid thing where I go and delete from the parent, like I go and say parent remove object instead of doing remove from parent. I will look into that. I know it's stupid, but I'll try with that, because maybe I did it once because something happened, and then something like that, some edge case, and then I started doing it that way for every case. Because I can't remember, I can't track down when I started doing that, and this is probably why. This could be why. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because remove from parent is doing exactly that. So it's stupid, it's probably stupid. But hey, I don't know. I'll look into it. I would try with that. I would try it anyway. It's just one stupid thing you can try. And then about the other question you said, there's a way to new component instance on specific trigger state machine for this. Well, you can nuke a component instance anytime you want. Honestly, like you can just remove components. Components are removable. You can remove them easily. We have Mr. Lay here in the chat. We have Mr. Lay. How's it going, mate? What are we talking about right now? Well, I'm looking at we have Dambao Ren was asking a question there in the feature request. I'm going there in the feature requests and reading what Dambao Ren was saying, and seeing there what what's what we can do about this, because he's having a problem there when he joins the room, and when he creates like a networking room, right? He creates this he instantiates this game prefab that has 5 components, right, with character, camera, all that. And then when he leaves, he's seeing that although the objects are removed, components are still present, which shouldn't happen. When you remove an object from the scene, unless you're doing something behind the scenes, like it's outside of the scope of the component itself, they should be completely removed. You can also, like, one thing to remove them completely is to maybe make sure you remove the object. When you remove the object, remove its components. You can do re.get object components, and you can get all the components and you can remove them. So you'll get a list of those components and you can remove each. You can also go through the list of components it will give you the list of components in the scene. If you do re.components, it gives you the components in the scene right now. So if you do, say, let me show you. I'm gonna come in here, and I'm gonna create a little script. I'm gonna show you, And in fact, you know what? We're also going to look into what you seconded, me. So like you seconded something there in the feature requests thing where you said you wanted, you also wanted like some way to be able to destroy, like to know when things are destroyed, right? Like a listener for destroy. And my answer was that I think that exists already. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure it's already possible in all instances. But we can try it. We can try it now. Yeah. So I'm gonna come here to this project. I'm gonna see what's the best project we can use for this. Let's use this thing, and yeah, let's just let's create some stub scripts here for us. Yeah, let's just do that. And yeah, we'll later on we'll be working on some stuff for the game we were doing, but don't worry about it now. Okay, let's do this then. Yeah, let me share the screen. Is this okay? Yeah, I'm gonna close the browser because that'll help us a bit with the performance. Okay. And we have let me close this too, so that doesn't bother us. Yeah, everything that we don't need, I'm gonna just close down. There you go. There you go. Yeah, and I'm gonna share the screen there. Okay, so remember this little project, this little scene here we have. Okay, so it's a very simple, stupid scene that has just stuff we don't really need right now. Oh, right, this thing. Yeah, I need to fix it because I changed the logic a little bit, and now now it's broken. Okay, I'm gonna show you that later. I changed some actions there, and yeah, it had consequences here. So okay, yeah, because basically what happened here is that when I press D there, you see, and it starts going there, and it's released, but it keeps going there. You know, so I'm moving there, and I stopped moving basically, but you know, it keeps going. You know, it's like it's stick keys, so we don't want that. But yeah, we'll fix it later. Right now, we're gonna focus on this thing. We have let's create a little component. Let's create a component here. We call it destroy test. Okay, let's call it destroy test. And yeah, one thing we're gonna do in this destroy test is we're going to see the different ways we destroy a component. Okay, and the different listeners and ways we have to make sure that our component is gone from the scene, or to see when a component is gone from the scene, both in game and in editor. Okay, so let's go with that. We have Udbal Joshi here. How's it going, mate? Thanks for joining us. And Mr. Lay always laughing at something. all right. Let's get this going. Okay. All right. So all right. Let's just create a little object 3D here. Okay, just regular object 3D, just the middle of the scene here, just put it anywhere really. We don't care. And we're just gonna drop our little destroy test here. Okay, this is a little destroy test component. And I'm gonna open it in our VS Code here, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add with destroy test. Yeah, I'm gonna add what should I add here? What should I add here? I'm thinking I could add, like, what's the best test case for this? I could remove one of these objects from here. Well, we are removing them with this guy, right? So we are actually removing this, right? when we get close to one of these, we remove them, right? So how about when we remove them, we log the amount of rapier bodies we have. So we log how many rapier bodies we have, okay? So let's do that. Every time we remove, we log all the rapier bodies, okay? Let's do that so that we see that rapier bodies are gone, right? So let's test that. We're gonna go into let's go into what's the name of the thing we have here? Oh, we're doing this right, but this is but this is one of those no-code scripts we're doing. So damn it. Oh well, it's a good time to do. Yeah, how about we do this? How about we create an action? Let's create an action here we can use, okay? It's a good chance to create an action for ourselves. Let's create an action. Let's call it log. Let's call it log. I don't know if it's going to be a definite action, like something we actually keep or not, but we're going to create it anyway. So I don't know. Where should we add it? It's object 3D, delta time, camera, maybe below delta time. Yeah, let's put it below delta time. Yeah, here. Yeah, here. Let's call it. I don't like this renderer thing there, but I don't care. Let's call it log. Okay. And let's call this. Let's say re.debug.log, and let's log something. Okay, so let's log log string. Okay. And yeah, let's log that. And yeah, we don't care about this really with anything. And we're gonna say here it returns it doesn't return anything. But the parameters are going to be a type string, and this is going to be name. We're gonna call it a message. Just gonna call it message. I don't like log message. Let's put come here, right? So it's a message here. There it is. So we log a message there, anything really. And in fact, yeah, you know what? We're just gonna we're gonna make this any. Okay, we're gonna make this any, and we're gonna string. We're gonna turn anything that comes in here into a string. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so that we can sending a number easily. And oh, but I need another one now. Oh my god, now I need another one. I need one for the because now we have this one now. No, it's this one. Yeah, we have this one now that we can use here. We can do okay remove, and every time we remove we say log, and we can pass in some action where we get the get amount of components. I think this is a lot. I think we're just entangling ourselves too much. Let's just do this way easier. Yeah, let's do this way easier. Let's say yeah. We need something else. We need a quicker test. This is too long of a test. Let's do we have a destroy test. Okay, what can we do? We'll say we have some messages here. Utpal Joji saying, I have done some game dev with Facelive, never tried 3.js. 3.js is awesome, mate. 3.js is amazing. And with Rogue Engine, it should be easier, even easier. 100%. Because, yeah, unless it gives you, some visual editor you can use with it. Phaser is great too, right? Phaser is fantastic. 2D, that is, right? For 3D, THREE.JS is definitely the king, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. We need what we need here. We have an awake. Yeah, no, I'm going back to the other one because I really want to count the I really want to count the things, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna create an action that's just going to be get a number of components. This is just going to be re dot get get components. Yeah, so we can get components of a specific type, right? And yeah, this will take a class, right, for a component. So what we can do is we can get the prototype of a component, right? So we can say const proto, and we'll say re dot get component prototypes, and we'll use some kind of yeah, we'll say prototype like component type. Let's call it that, component type. Okay, it's going to be a string. Okay, it's going to be a string, and we'll say component type here. It's going to give us the prototype. Okay, and we're going to get a component of that type. All right, because this needs a type, right? This doesn't take a like a string or something, right? And we're going to get this, and we're going to return length. Okay, so how many of these we have, that's what we want. So this is going to return a number amount, and call it that. Okay, so this is an action that I'm actually going to remove later, but we're just going to add it for the sake of it. And I actually created one here, which I'm going to show you later, but it's a get component that I promised that I was going to add. I added here, and basically the get component one, it's just this, right? It just comes in here and gets you all the keys for all the components. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. And there you go. So we can get all the components of a certain prototype, of a certain type. Get a number of components of type. Call it that, okay? And that's what it's going to return. We're gonna give it a string component name, right? Thing with all the prototypes we have, and we're gonna return how many of it we have. All right, that's what we're gonna do. That's all it does. It's very simple, very stupid. We come in here, we say, yeah, I thought it was gonna get harder, but then I realized, no, it should actually be quite simple. So we're just gonna add a log, okay? And then we say here we should have an any, so get number components of type, right? We just look for a get number components of type, like that, you know, and just get it there. And we'll say how many, which ones. It's going to be rapier body. So we're going to count the rapier bodies. Every time we collision one, we're going to count them. Okay. So we're going to log that every time. There you go. Here we are. Let's see. Okay. We come here. It's 5. It's 4. It's 3. And there's 2. Yeah. So yeah, which is this one, and I'm guessing how which else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably because the one was not removed yet. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because it will get removed afterwards, right? It doesn't get removed immediately. That's probably why. I'm a bit suspicious though. Let's do this. You know what? We want to make sure. So let's do this. Let's log this before the remove. Okay, just to be sure that it's giving us the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know. Well, wait. Let's come back here to the console. There you go. Come here and say it's 5. Yeah. Okay. 4. Yeah, that's the case. 3, 2. Yeah. So you need like next frame to get all the components removed and everything gone. So yeah, that should probably be it. Because we're doing it before the remove, so we know that's the case. We have 5 and they're all being removed, but this one, right? So this 4 get removed, and we know we have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 remaining. That works. So removing the components, removing an object will remove its components. And what we'll count now is rapier bowls. I think that's the best one, because that will tell us if we are actually also removing subcomponents. So we'll test that now. Let's test that. We'll come here and say, instead of rapier body, we'll say bowls. We'll check bowls, and we'll see if we're removing bowls. There you go. Let's try it out. Are we removing? No, I forgot to open the console there. Are we removing bowls? 5, 4, yeah, 3, 2, yeah, there you go. So we are removing all the bolts too. So it works. It works, yeah. It works for the components, like the super components. It works for the inner components as well, like for child components. So we are actually just removing this. We're not removing this object, but by removing this one, it triggers the remove of this one. So even the child components get removed. So the point is, how are you removing them, perhaps? Because if you're removing them normally, like you would with, just doing, you need to call remove on them, right? You need to call remove, or somehow even remove from parent, or remove in some way from the parent to, like the way I like to do it. My stupid way of calling remove. But yeah, what we can try is now we'll do a test here. Now we'll come here. Instead of this destroy test, we're actually going to duplicate one of these. Okay, we're gonna bring this about here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add our destroy test here. All right. And what else are we going to do? Well, we're going to go into a destroy test, and we're going to actually test that this is destroyed, or at least that it is. Yeah, how is it destroyed? So we'll say on. And here we have on before object removed. So we have something that to do before the object is removed. On before removed, so on before the component is removed. On disabled, so on the object being disabled, like what happens when the object is disabled. And on object removed, so when the object is already removed, right? So it calls one before removing it, one after removing the object. So you get the two phases of it. And then you get on removed when the component is removed. I think only one of these two works in the editor, like the on before removed and the on removed. One of these two works in editor. Like I said, the editor, like I always say, the editor API is not 100% there. It's probably very much not stable. Not probably. it is not stable, the editor API, but the engine API is fairly stable. And this should be working on before removed and on removed. So I don't like the stupid voice it gives me. So we'll say console, because I don't like this the log in this without the new console. So we'll say console before removed and console log on removed. There it is. This should work for all of them. Always. So you come here, we call this, yeah, well, let's call this, let's see when it's called to see that it's actually being called. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. We'll see if it was called or not. Before removed, on removed. It was called there, you see. We even had a 6, you see how we had a 6 one here, because it's the debug is logging here as well. So we have a 6 and we have the before removed and the on removed. So that's perfect. It's working there. Now let's test it in editor. Is it going to know that we have removed our objects in editor? Let's test it right now. Let's duplicate it so that we don't lose our toy component here. No logs, okay. We do remove and component removed to, because I have that in the other thing there. Okay, it's not triggering in editor. Okay. So none of the two are triggering within editor. At least not when I remove them from here like this, which is ridiculous. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Let me see which one of these is the one logging on component removed. Yeah, this is a known component removed. Yeah, you have the on component removed trigger. But I find that when I don't use the that's a strange thing. When I find that when because the other one works on editor components probably. So there's one that works on editor components. Like an editor component will use its own because if you don't use, like, this is the HTML UI editor, right? So if you don't use your on before removed here, it will not work well. It will really do some strange stuff. So you really need this in your editor components to stop all your handlers. But you need an on component removed like this, you see. And it will trigger for all components. So what you need to do is you need to filter it down. You need to know if it's an instance of that component. So you see how it's doing component removed, component instance of HTML UI, then remove it. You see it removes the element. So you can keep track of these sorts of things in the editor when you're using things in the editor, which is the part, you want to know, oh, something was removed here, something was added there. So you can see a component was added, a component was removed. This is just this thing, right? So you do re.onObject added, re.onComponent added, re.onComponent removed. You can add any of these handlers, and then you just on play, you set them up like this. And this is, of course, only for in editor handling, right? You don't need to do this for you can always call safely this thing on component removed, like in play, sorry. Yeah, when you're playing a scene, but maybe this is not the case. So let me know down below if this is something. Oh, okay. Oh, we have down below here. Miss Soleil saying, I see, does clone material also get removed? Yes. Well, the clone material, if you have a reference to a material, the material will not get removed unless there is no references to it, right? So if say two objects have the same material, then you remove one object, right, and the other one keeps the reference. So you're not removing the material of the other object. The material will be removed once it has no other materials in the scene that are using it, and it's meant to be removed, right? Because you also have, remember, the in the asset management, you can set that you want them to keep loaded or all that. You see, you can configure that to keep loaded and all that. But within the it's one thing within the editor, and it's another thing within the a baked game, basically, with all the configurations. But let's see what Dumbbell Ren was saying. Okay, we have Dumbbell Ren in the house. Thanks for joining us, mate. Saying perhaps my code is bloated spaghetti. I lost mine, sir. I'll try on remove. Thank you. No problem, mate. No problem. It may be that there's an edge case that you are using, and there's something there that is perhaps on changing a scene or on doing something in particular that it may not be working. I would very much like to know if it's not working, because it honestly it would honestly be something I would very much need to fix. So let me know how it goes. And yeah, of course, if you need any help at all, you always, you can ask. And yeah, and I find these moments very fantastic to just explain things and go through them. I can test things with you here, which is great. I know. So in my code, I traversed a scene, found all objects except room manager, try to iterate through all components inside objects. Oh, you traverse a scene. Yeah, no, you don't need to do that. Let me show you how you do it. So let's play then. Let's do something fun. Okay, destroy test. What we'll do is we'll remove all components but the destroy test. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start, and on start we will do re.components, and this is basically just keyed to every object 3D and its components. You see, so every object 3D that has a component is here. So all you do here is just object keys, and just go through it, like for each. There you go, key, and this is just a UUID, right? So you can do UID, and you say, okay, const object map, right? This is just a mapped object component, and you go, okay, it would be re components UUID. Oh, stupid me, sorry. UUID, and you say object components that yeah, would be for each, and you would say component component dot remove, it would be, or now it would be re dot remove component, but we'll say component, we'll put this in parentheses. It's not an instance of destroy test and remove component. Okay, so a ternary here, a little ternary expression. If instance of component, well, one liner, it's not really a ternary. I don't know if this is considered a ternary or not. I don't know. I think I consider a ternary as well. I don't know if it needs to have this to be a ternary. I don't give a shit, honestly. It's just nomenclature. fuck nomenclature. You know, it's pedantics. This is the pedantics and ticks. And yeah, it's just a component. It's not an instance of destroy test. Then we just remove it because we don't want it. We just want destroy tests in our scene. So yeah, we'll do that. And there you go. So that's all objects that have a component basically. So we did this, and there you go. It's well, no. Oh, okay. We have a bug. We have something wrong here. This should have been removed. Why isn't player controller gone? Okay, we have a problem, mate. We have a problem. One of these isn't gone. I'm trying to think why. Because only the player controller stay there. I don't think you will find this problem because this is very much likely. This is the only no-code component in our scene. And this is controlled by something else. So I'm thinking maybe it's related to that. That's very likely the case because everything else was removed but this component. So yeah, it's strange. It's strange, but not so strange perhaps. I don't know. Object components. Let's see. Maybe because it's the second one. Maybe I did something wrong there. Let's see. There you go. Oh, it's the second one. Okay. So something went wrong, deleting the second one. Did I write something wrong here? Oh yeah, because we're modifying the list as we're going. Okay, so that's a problem. Okay, we're modifying the list as we go. So what we do is const to remove, and it's a list of RE components, and what we'll do is we will add it to the list. Yeah, you don't want to modify a list of things like anything while you're using it, because this is an array. We don't want to modify the array while we are, because every time you call or remove, you're changing the array, so that'll cause issues. So you could, I mean, we could theoretically just yeah, actually we can do this much easier. We can do this and say yeah, let's do this and say right. So you do this, you put it inside another array, you spread it inside another array. This is super fucking inefficient. This is like the most inefficient blob in the world, but hey, because it's going to spread every time. That sounded so bad. Oh my god, that had some really bad sound. But hey, yeah, this time you spread it every time. Ideally, you put it here in a to remove, and then you go through that to remove. It's better than spreading every single time, because that will do a spread of an array every time. And I don't think that's I believe that's way less performant. But I mean, if this particular thing doesn't really affect the overall performance, if it's not happening like every frame, it's ridiculously small. So it's a tiny thing. So I wouldn't worry about it. Unless it's something that you needed to happen very instantly, like, oh, it needs to be like this, 30 milliseconds extra, I could really use them. Well, then yes. Otherwise, you just do this. This is simple. It looks nice. Looks very stupid. 2 lines of code and you're done. And yeah, this should work. This should work now. This should remove all of them. Let's put this here up there, and there you go. Everything's gone, but the one object that has a destroy test, and only the destroy test. You see how the other object is gone? Destroy test stays there. There it is. There we have it. There it is, and everything's back in. When we play the scene again, we stop the scene. We go back to the editor. And there you go. You should have everything back on track, back where you were. Just a second, please. Let me just check something. Because my wife's out on a class. Just want to make sure everything's good. She told me to check the phone just in case. Very, very sorry to yeah, that's all good. It's all good. All perfect. There it is. Sorry about that. All right. I hope that was helpful. That I was able to show you like different ways of, checking your destroys. You have the two ways. You see the way you do it for editor components and the way you do it for the on destroy listener, right? The re dot on removed, actually on object removed and on component removed, which you can use for your editor objects or editor components. And then the on removed and before removed, on object removed. All of these you have to use you can use them runtime. We could make a case. We could use this also for, well, this works as well in editor components. We could make them work in the editor, honestly. Like, I'm thinking about it. There's a reason why I didn't do it, and I think it's because it would force old code, old incompatible code. Like, say you have a bunch of on removes like this that do stuff, and you're not checking, like, you would, all of your on removes should have if to make sure that re, I think in editor or something like that. In editor, I don't remember the I think it's re in editor. I always have to check it because I don't ever use this, but yeah, I think this is what you have to do, something like this, to check if you're in editor, return, right? Because otherwise you would be running this code every time an object is removed in your scene. An object that has this component in your scene is going to call the on removed, and you don't want that. So and the idea is not to fill this with component related things. So that's kind of a problem. So yeah, I think I had a similar problem previously with the awake. I don't remember exactly when that happened, how, but I think we had some people run into issues with this because I did something related to it. Well, I think the one that works with this is the awake and the unenabled and undisabled, I think works here in the editor. So you can do awaken, and you can do on disabled, say console disabled, and I think this will be called on enabled and this on disabled. So you can say let's come here and let's remove the logs. I do this and disabled. There it is. So if you disable an object like that, you see how it shows there, and you do this now, it's awaken. So you can call the awake from here as well when you enable and disable it. So the awake is not called in the editor unless the object is actually awaken. See what I mean? Like, you actually awaken it, it will turn into something like that. Otherwise it won't. Let me see. Let's see if it also works when we drop the prefab in. So we have this thing here, right? Let's just remove this, and let's what was that? There's an error there. Oh yeah, we have problems. Remember, we have problems with this new thing. Yeah, the doesn't matter. I think this shouldn't affect this, but yeah, this, you see how it doesn't trigger the awake. The awake only works on enable and disable. So yeah, let's remove that because it's going to be a problem. I can't create prefabs correctly in this version. In this this is the development version. So yeah, I'm doing a bunch of shit here. I'm destroying everything. Yeah, I'm working heavily on the 1.0, and then this is just a mess. It's just, me breaking things and putting them together. I work from chaos to order, order from chaos. Yeah. There we go. We have some people here. We have some more people here, and we have Dunbar Ren. Lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, it's very lovely. I think it worked, mate. Yeah. What else? Oh, I want to do a shout out. Shout out to what's it called? Speedrun. I think it's an accelerator thing for they do game development things. It's an A16Z thing. And I said, they sent me an email and sent me like, oh, apply for this. And I went like, okay, I went and applied, and they answered yesterday saying, oh, we looked at your application and we rejected. Okay, thank you very much. Why the fuck you send me an email to apply? Fuck you, go away. Don't call me again. Don't send me more emails. Shout out to you, and I hope, wish you the best. Stop bothering me then, Just go do your own shit. Yeah, some garbage. Accelerators always, being, like, the stupid VCs, they think they know it all, but hack and slash. Mark Marston has the right 2 words for it. Yeah, indeed, hack and slash. This is all hack and slash. Indeed, it's a hack and slash of life, of building shit, and yeah, but yeah, I just want to be transparent, they sent an email, I applied. They rejected, and I said, okay, don't send me more emails. What the fuck you send me emails? You know what I do already, so, I mean, I remember one of them, like, a while back told me, like, yeah, they don't like people who, like solo entrepreneurs, solo people that are working on projects. Like, okay, brilliant, all right, then, I don't give a shit. I'm working on this alone, and if you don't want it, I'm not gonna adapt myself to your stupid standards. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, you either like the shit or you don't like it, then stop bothering me. It's brutal. Yeah, these people have they nail it once, like they've made it so well. Yeah, they're so amazing. They're so amazing because they've made it once with 1 or 2 things. They haven't done anything transcendental at all since they've done the things they've done before, and now it's like they're trying to live off past glories. All these in general, VCs in general, like I think we haven't seen any great tech beyond the people that are already out there doing stuff. We're already there. It's the old people that actually were building the whole old way of tech products, the very transcendental things that happened. This is not really happening anymore. It's mostly with people that are doing these kinds of things, hackers doing cool projects and cool shit, where I find the interesting stuff going on. But I think the whole world around like VCs and these people funding projects and giving out grants and things like that, I think they get, if you're a really good salesperson, if you're a great selling, like something like vacuum cleaners, you can sell a vacuum cleaner. You could probably sell the hell out of a stupid grift to some idiot VC who knows shit about anything. So yeah, you know, it's yeah, I want to get. I saw. Mark's having a laugh. Mark's having a laugh at my expense. You see, do you see the? Do you see? I saw the thing that. Oh, the most stupid thing. Y Combinator doing this. Is doing. What's it called? Like an early decision. They called it early decision. They're calling it. Is they will back you before you graduate. So they're getting, you know, kids from college, kids from, you know, from, I guess, from a prestigious school, probably, when they so they make an early decision. We will fund you whatever the fuck you do before you graduate. So when you graduate, you do this thing. So, you know, it used to be about you know, the grind and going and trying to do something, and then you get, you know, you get you know, uses, and you do something amazing and all that. But now it's like you're building crystal boxes around, you know, these poor little guys that are coming out of expensive colleges, and we need to protect them. This poor little guy. It's so, where's the grind in that? Why will they build if they're always in these little glass boxes? I mean, they know shit about life or suffering or anything. They don't know anything. So how can they really make anything worth anything? Truly, because they don't know shit. So it's ridiculous. They will come out of college thinking, "Oh, I already made it anyway," right? It's just, what's the point? I think that's something to think about. It's like these people are so deranged. They have actually built these systems, you know, that used to work, but they keep making them worse because they are getting older, and their experiences are also now of rich people, and are no longer experiences of the people they were before, right? They had those experiences, and now they're building things for themselves now, and not for the people that are them in the past, you know. Which is, they don't realize that the sufferings they had, or the things they went through, sufferings they had, you know, most of them, they don't know what suffering is, and but the struggle, whatever the struggle you go through, that's part of it, right? The more you remove the struggle, and the more you put these things, it just doesn't work. So, well, I don't know. What do I know? What the fuck do I know anyway, right? I'm just an idiot here making this stupid shit. Yeah. It's funny. But it is funny. It is funny. All right. So let's look at the falling eggs, okay? Let's look at the falling eggs. Yeah, we're calling them falling eggs now, okay? We're calling them falling eggs. And I'm going to show you this thing. So we have falling eggs, and they're falling from the sky, from up high, somewhere over the rainbow, and yeah, and they're just falling, aren't they? Yeah, they're just eggs, and we are birds. You know, it's just the bird is moving around, and yeah, and we need to first of all control where the bird is going. Oh, I need to explain to you some things here. And yeah, because I kind of cheated. I want to say I kind of cheated because I did one or two things after we ended the live stream. Well, not right after, but the day after. Because I as I promised, I wanted to make sure the other stuff, you know, that I needed to add was there, and then I tested it, so I just added it. Kind of added the stuff that we needed. I promised I was going to do it, or I said I was going to do it here live, but I'm just going to show it to you. I'm just going to show you what I did. And yeah, you'll forgive me, of course. You'll forgive me. Mark is saying programming a 680 what's it? A 68,000 is suffering. Go Amiga. Oh, the 60. The Amiga, yeah, programming at 68,000 is suffering. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I didn't have access to one of those, for instance, right? I would have loved to have access to one of those, for instance. I think also the difference in where you grow up in, what year it is, the difference in, you know, in access to technology and in access to many things. It really makes a difference how you approach technology in general, and the struggle and your perspective from what a struggle is, right? If your struggle is just getting access to internet, for instance, or access to technology itself, then when you get technology, you get to technology, it doesn't mean that maybe you're too far away from it now and you're too far off. Or maybe you fell in love with it at some point, and now that you finally have access to it, what do you do with it? And those things leave a mark on you. Mark. These things leave a mark. Marky. We're talking to Mark about things leaving a mark on you. And yeah, they do. They definitely do. And they make you who you are and how you believe in this thing. So for instance, the Amiga, for me, was like I found about it when it was already way too late. I had access to a computer like to do stuff with it, like actual access to, okay, I want to play with this computer and do stuff and learn to code. I was already probably way off. Probably was 2004, 2000. Yeah, that was when I first had access to a computer and didn't know how to use it. And 2006 2005 I had access to internet, but I had very, very little internet. Like it would run out very, very fast, and then I had to then I had a limited internet in 2006, late 2006, something like that. So my access to technology was like, I'm late to everything, it's like, was like that. So then I tried to like go fast. And first thing I did when I got internet was learn English. That's the first thing I did. Learn English. Yeah, probably the most unsafe way one could, 15-year-old could learn English. But hey, we're just talking to people online. Yeah, probably not. Oh, Jay Edits here and in the house saying, I really need a Node.js tutorial. Oof. Well, we're not doing Node.js yet. we're doing THREE.JS, which is to make 3D stuff for the web, for front end. So it's not really Node.js. You're welcome to stick around if you want. As always, everyone's welcome. But yeah, Node.js is pretty awesome, innit? We have Dunbar Wrench just did a server there. Oh, Dunbar. I just talk about people like everyone knows them, right? I just talk about random lads that I know. Hey, my friend John. Who the fuck knows who John is? He built a Dunbar Wrench. You want to use the rugged? You can just build he's building a raw server for it. It's just awesome. Do you have an old video for it? No, I haven't done. I don't do backend in general because like tutorials on backend. I did do some written tutorials on backend a while back. It should be on SitePoint somewhere, I believe. But yeah, I haven't done backend tutorials and stuff like that in a while. Yeah, it's probably like you can find some much better much better material on it from like modern material. Also, I wouldn't go into anything anyone has made in the past maybe 4 years. Just go for something modern, see what's going on in the scene right now, how people using it right now. Yeah, learn some infrastructure. You're gonna need some infrastructure too. Yeah, learn the basics and then learn how to do infra, mate. I subscribe. Thanks, mate. Thanks. Well, if you're gonna do some front end, you're gonna have fun. If you want to do some 3D stuff, you want to get some games going, you're gonna have some fun with that. This is basically just a website, you know. This is a website. Oh, you want a Node server? I'm gonna show you a Node.js server. I'm gonna show you now a Node.js server. Okay. So this thing is running on a Node.js server right here. In the like it has a browser that is being served from a server that is in the Electron. Electron is to basically makes this applications. This is just a website, right? It makes its desktop applications are just a website basically. And in the background, we're running a server to serve this like the website in the background. Let me show you this. So I have this file server here, right? And so here we're running basically, this is Node.js. There you go. You see, and we're running basically all the different files. Here we're serving all of our files. And no, this is the certificate. Yeah, here we have all the routes. We're doing, getting the, this is the routes, just doing, get simpler config. So here we get the, to get, just a REST API, right? Getting the configuration for the sim player and a refresh count to be able to come back and forth from the scene, right? Because when you can open this here in any device, like on your browser or somewhere. When a change happens in the scene, it's supposed to refresh on your device as well, or wherever you're watching it. You can access this address from somewhere, and yeah, have fun with it. But I don't know. There you go. There's a Node.js server. It's just had at least a peek of something here. It's using Express, which is a good framework. It's one nice framework you can learn. I think it's the most basic one you can learn. I guess Express is app. You create this little app with Express, and then you send in all of your you use your middleware inside of it. So it's using the Express static here, and saying, okay, let's use this route to pass in the router, and now we pass in every route in it. This is like the slash, where we start serving things. Where do we want to serve things? And yeah, setting the limits and all that. But this is just a local server we're running on a machine here, and when you run a Rogue Engine project, you always running that server in the background that is helping you out, doing stuff for you. Yeah, man. No problem, mate. No problem. Glad to be of service. Glad to help out in any way I can. Okay. So, wherever it collides, I can help. Wherever the things join here. Okay. So let's make a group. Because what I want to do is I want to make this as simple as possible to not be able to hit the walls. Yeah, because we want to like stop right here, right? Maybe here, about here, about there, somewhere like that, right? So let's come here. Let's grab the camera and say here, if you go to options, it says align view to camera. If you put align camera to view, we'll align the camera here. We don't want that. So we'll do align view to camera so we can look at the camera like it's, we're looking at it, we're looking at what the camera is looking at from the editor camera. So I know that's a bit confusing. I'm very sorry about that. So we're gonna call these what? Side colliders, I'll call them side walls. I like to call them side walls. Okay. We're just gonna add here we add a rapier body. All right. Let's close the options here because we don't need them. And it's just going to be fixed. And a fixed rapier body is just the physical body for it. And we're gonna add a box here, just a box in it, just a box. We're gonna add a cuboid Rapier cuboid is just a collider. We are just adding a cuboid collider. And yeah, there you go, right? Yeah, let's just put it in, let's put it in 000 again. I don't know why I moved it. You see how we have problems here with the this thing in this development version I have here. So it's kind of messed up. Let's make it 20. How much? How big should this be? 20? About. Oh no, I have this disabled. No. 20. There you go. There it is. Okay. Yeah, I did something wrong there, I guess. Yeah. Okay. There you go. So probably more. Probably something like 50. There it is. And we probably want to move this. I calculated sort of around 10 something like, so around there. So 10.8, 10.5, we could have it about there. 10.8 is, I think 10.5 could be okay. So that we have like a little margin to the side. And this one we duplicated, we selected, we duplicated, and we put the other one in minus 10.5. There you go. And we're looking at the boxes there so that we can monitor what's going on. You see, we're colliding there. We probably, yeah, we should probably do a bit more. Something like 11.5 maybe. Let's see if we can see it there. Let's move one of them until it's not visible. There it is. 12.2. Yeah, 12.2. There you go. So 12.2 minus 12.2. 0.2 and minus 12.2. And sorry, and 12.2 and minus 12.2. 0.5. I say one thing and I do it something else. There you go. So now we bounce on the sides. There you go. Right? Right? Boom, 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 boom. There it is. Now this works because okay, we have a bot. Ethno TV. No, Entho. I thought that was weird. Ethno TV. That was no, please. No. All right. So yeah. So one thing we need here is yeah, we can bounce on the sides there, right? That's cool and all, but we also need some kind of collider to, how do you call it? To, well, let's one thing I want to do first. Let's move this up by how much? By 15. They call about 15. There, maybe there. 21. Yeah, 21 is fine. 21 up there, and 21 up there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, about there, because we're gonna put the I'm gonna put another collider down here. There's going to be the kill collider, the because we want to lose points when the balls fall down. Like the eggs fall down. It's balls, it's eggs, it's balls. I like saying balls, but it's it could be balls, it could be eggs, because it's a little bird, so it could be eggs. It's collecting bird eggs. Well, yeah, it's not going to be lizard eggs. I don't think so. Or turtle eggs. Could be ostrich eggs. Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna need to collect these eggs, and as they fall down, we're gonna make them fall a little bit more. Set the interval from 2. This is from 2 seconds. Like the minimum is at 0.5 seconds and the maximum 2 seconds. Let's put this one at 1 second and make our lives miserable, because that's how we roll. We just make our lives more and more miserable. That's what we do here. Yeah, that's what we do. That's how we roll. Yes. Now I'm going to show you how that works, because I did it while you weren't here, while you weren't looking. Yeah, so we need to fix this. We need to fix this. I need to show you how it's done. Okay. So and we're probably going to make this go a bit faster, as you know. But yeah, it's hard. It's fucking hard. It starts to get like, it's very imprecise. It's very imprecise. I'm gonna tell you that. Yeah, super fucking imprecise. Oh my god. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna save. And yeah, I'm going to show you how that works. Where is it? There it is, the egg collector thing. So we're moving the player. We're moving the player with his rapier move. So again, the axis for move. And we get the move X, you know, move Y. This thing gives us the move X, move Y. And so we are requiring the body within the player, you know. So this is the bird player controller that is right here with the rapier body. Right, so it's requiring this rapier body that it has right here, and then we have a speed parameter here that we're inspecting, and yeah, we're just setting it to 30 here. Right, this is the default value. Is setting it to 30 here because it's the default value. Okay, and then yeah, we're moving that body in X, right, in X vector, you know, in a vector 3 using the X property of the vector 3, moving it in the move X of our move, which is the A and D in this case, right? WASD. We're not using the Y, which is WS, which is using AD, which is the X, and we're moving on X with A and D, right? Just this A and D, and it's also the left right on your joystick, and it's what else? I think it's just that. I think it's set up to that. Well, in the touch, it will be the right side of the touch by default, but we can set it to the whole view. It's fairly simple to do. We'll do it later, but right now, it's just the left side of your screen. So it's just moving on the left side of the screen. So, yeah, so say if you're right here, like you have to like move your finger around like it's like, or just on this side. If you move it like in the middle here, it's not going to work, or it's just going to work when you move here. So yeah, that's one thing. Then what else? Now what we're going to do is we're going to what else are we going to do? Yeah, I was going to show you this. Yeah, so that's how we're moving the player. And here's what we're doing with our little script here. I'm going to show you here the script, the egg collect logic. So it has an egg prefab. Here it is, the egg prefab, right? Just inspecting that to put our prefab here, which is just this little egg, right? This ball is put in here as egg. Okay, just called it egg because why not? It's a ball, but it's an egg. And why not? I mean, in the US, don't they call their football thing? They call it football, and they play with an egg. So this can be an egg, you know. This could very much be an egg in the United States. I mean, so this is, let's call this the American egg. Let's call this the American egg because I'm pretty sure that's how they see their ball. I think they believe it's a ball, but it's an egg. They know it's an egg, but this is how they see balls. This is how they see eggs, I believe. This is an American egg. It's just round, right? That's how they see things. I believe that. I'm like 99% sure that is how American eggs look like. So we're just going to take a bet on that and say that these are American eggs from American chicken. You know, they're just full of pumped with chemicals, and they just go, I have Tylenol in me, so you know, just gonna, yeah, so, you know, they just put out round eggs, and it's just very, you know, it's American chicken. That's what they do, right? It's American hens. Put it in the round eggs. Oh, so yeah, because they don't lay them, they put them out. That's what they do. That's what American eggs will do. It's just put them out. And okay, so we have our egg collect logic there. And what it's doing is, okay, it has the egg prefab and it has a max interval and a minimum interval, right? This is the amount of time it will spend, right? The minimum amount it will spend, a maximum amount of time it will spend to try and we call it, is the minimum and maximum amount of time it will take to instantiate. I couldn't think of what instantiates. Oh my god, I use it all the time and I can't think about it now. Is the maximum maximum is the minimum and maximal amount of time it will wait, that time frame it will wait to instantiate an egg, an American egg, American round egg. And and yeah, so we'll go from minimal, 0.5, maximal 1. It's what we have from by default here. We can change it and see, maybe in game we can move it around. We can say, okay, you're doing so good, we just want to make your life more miserable, so we make it from 0.2 to 0.5 or something like that. And yeah, and then we have the origin height. The origin height is how high we want the eggs to come from, right? So how high we want them. We can shorten the height or make the height like make it go more above the screen or less above the screen if we want it to be to make a difference as well. Not just in the it will make a difference in the intervals as well, because think that if we some eggs could fall down before others if we're changing that runtime, right? So an egg that comes in before another egg, but it's coming from above and then it's falling down, suddenly another egg appears here and suddenly you have two eggs falling down at the same time. So that's a problem. We don't want that to happen. So I don't know, I'm thinking about origin height as something, how malleable it really is. So that's something to think about. And what I'm considering is this something we should be configuring here, or is it something we should configure here? That's basically just that. And then current interval is just a field that we're setting to set how much time has passed. And then the next interval is the one we've decided that is the next interval within this two numbers, right? So within these two parameters. So what we do is in the update, so every frame what we're doing is we're checking if the current interval is smaller or equal than our next interval. Smaller or equal. I was just looking at the greater or equal, but I just say smaller or equal because I know. So it's greater or equal than the next interval. Then what we do is we come in here and we say set field to the next the next field in the next interval field. We're gonna set it to random range. So we're gonna get a random number within a range, right? And we don't want to floor it. You see, we have a last parameter here to floor it. We say false. We don't, we just want to make it, whatever it is. We'll leave it as it is, as a float number. And we say, okay, from the minimum interval to the maximum interval. So give me a number between 0.5 and 1. Basically, that's what we're saying. And we're going to set it here in the next interval. And here in set field, we say, okay, set the current interval to 0 because we're resetting the current interval as we get, to our limit, right? We get to the limit, get to the clock, we reset the clock, and now we come back here and say, okay, prefab instantiate. So we're instantiating our eggs, our American round eggs, right? Because they're from America. These are Trump eggs, and we put them here, and we say, this will give us an instance. And this object instance is what we will use to get a component, the rapid body component. Oh, no, this is, forget this. Yeah. I added this just to show you the get component. Don't worry about it. Okay. This we will use the egg instance to set its position to this x position to also a random range between -10 and 10, right? Also not floating it, and we are setting its origin height, and that's it. So basically all I added from our previous development was this random range here and this random range here for our intervals to work, because previously our intervals were just using our minimum or maximum, one of those, I think a max interval, and now we're just basically every time changing every time we reach a new interval, like a new clock decision. We decide, okay, what's the next interval going to be like, and so we reset the clock and we go back in, we instantiate one of these balls, we go back and say, okay, let's keep adding up to our interval, let's keep adding delta time, which is the time it passed from one frame to the next, and from the last frame to this one, it would be, and keeping that in the current interval, and then coming back again, when it happens, and saying, okay, when the current interval is bigger or equal to the next interval, then we come in here and say, okay, next interval, set it to set it again, reset the clock, instantiate egg, position it in the x somewhere, position it at the right height, and now just drop it. It will just drop down because it has gravity. Eggs have gravity. Believe it or not, eggs fall from the sky. If you throw them, if you throw an egg from a plane, it will fall down. It'll probably hit a bird. So it's basically that. That's the game. That's the game, which is just dropping eggs from somewhere, and this bird is getting, it's raining eggs. Hallelujah. That's what it's getting, that's what it is. Just referencing it as an egg, saying, that's what we say, an egg, but I would love to say American egg, I would just love to call it that, but I think YouTube won't like it. YouTube, do you like American eggs, YouTube? No, I get it, says Shay, and it's fairly simple, isn't it? How hard, in your opinion, is this too hard? Is this hard to understand for someone who can't code? I think it's fairly simple for someone who can't code. But I don't know. I can't code, so, but the point is that I'm doing this. The point of this game is just my wife has to build this game. My wife has to be able to sit down and make this game. So she has never touched a line of code. She doesn't know how to program. She's absolutely oblivious about software development and probably also math. She's terrible at math. She's bad with ratios. She's bad with geometry. She doesn't know anything about it. So it's going to be a challenge. I'm going to have to teach some basics. But the idea is that she will have to come in here and be able to sit down and basically make this game. All right. So first thing we're going to do, the last thing we're going to do today, because we spent a long time doing other things, which I'm very glad we did, by the way. That's not a dig on, absolutely not. It's just saying we spent a long time doing something that was not doing this game, so that's why we haven't finished it. We should have finished it because it should be very simple. We need a point system here, right? So we're gonna add, a score here, right? A score, and it's gonna be a number. It's going to be, it's going to start 0, right? So we say, okay, what's the score we have right now? And we're going to have some UI in the scene as well that we're going to add. And we're going to keep the score up and down, and something like that. And also some eggs are going to fall down, and we need lives. How many lives we have? The HP, we need that. We need like lives. Probably have like 3 or 4 lives, and maybe sometimes a heart falls down and we get another life. That would be cool to have as well. How many lives we have? How many? That would be cool. Have like a little heart icon with the number there. How many lives we have? That would be cool. That would be cool. I think That would be awesome. Yeah, that probably have like yeah, little hearts falling down, and sometimes bombs. Sometimes bombs. Sometimes we could drop a bomb. Sometimes heart. Sometimes yeah, we could try different things, but we don't want to like claw to the game because I don't want to confuse my wife way too much. But yeah, I think it's just these three things, like something that falls that harms you, something that falls that has an effect that gives you life, the gift of life, and something that falls that gives you points, that he gives you scores, gives you money. So you have life, you have money, and you have death. Basically, life itself in a game backs up very well, and eggs, American eggs. That's all you need, round American eggs, full pumped with Tylenol. That's amazing. Oh my god, pumped Tylenol eggs. Misela there. Misela giving us the hearts, giving us the purple hearts. The purple hearts. That's what they give to soldiers, man. I'm a soldier of game development. All right, yeah, that's what they give us when they find out we're talking about American eggs, like they're round, like that. Yes, yeah. Someone calls. I think if we actually publish this as a game, someone asks, "What are those?" We'll tell them they are American eggs. I probably just put that in the description of the game. It's a bird collecting American eggs falling from the sky. I like that description so much. I really like that description. Actually, could it be that you catch a little bird, like just be like little birds here that you have, like a little bird and lives, like a number, like one of these birds up here and number here. That would be cool. All right, let's create the target here, and this is the last thing we're going to do today. We can create a little group here. I always like having like in a group these things in groups. So we have like the parent thing here, and then the collider inside, so we can move the collider around easily. It gives us more control over what we have. So we're gonna call this death. That's what we're gonna call death. Just death. That's what it is. We just want to be. We want to be very emo about this. We want to talk about I'm gonna rape your body here. It's gonna add a rape your body on top here, which is called cuboid. Cuboid, and there you go. And you can tell I'm not feeling great today, right? You can tell I'm just feeling terrible today. I'm feeling so bad today. And I'm having a lot of fucking fun. Yeah. Yeah. It's just death. Yeah. I will just put it here as we'll make this. No, not this. The box itself will make it. What, 20? Yeah, we don't care really. 40. Yeah, it doesn't matter because they're just gonna fall around here. So if they fall anywhere around this area, we want them to die anyway. So we don't care. It's just yeah. 5. Let's just make it 5 here, so that it's wide enough in case some eggs want to bounce or do something strange. I want to have a nice floor. We could call this floor. We were calling it death. That's what we're calling it. We don't care about anything other than this. We just need to call it death. And yeah, it's just it's dynamic. Yeah, we don't want it to be dynamic. We want it to be fixed. The game is fixed. Why even play when the game is fixed? That's emo. You're getting very sad. Why play? The game is fixed. There you go. There you go. And there it is. Now the eggs fall, and they should fall on top of the stupid thing. If we move the camera above, like let's put it here just for a second, so you can see, like the balls falling on top of it. They're like just crossing around it because I think the eggs are triggers. Let's see. The eggs, I think the thing is a sensor, so it's not. They don't really have a collider in itself, you know. We just make them. Let's make the eggs actually collide. Just because I just want to see them fall down, and yeah, there you go. Just want to see, just bounce the eggs around. Just, yeah, there you go. Just eggs in a factory, you know, just eggs. Oh, poor eggs, you know, just boop 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 boop. Name our eggs. There you go. Just play football, you know. Just, there you go. Mbappe eggs. Mbappe eggs. Oh, these are Mbappe eggs. Mbappe eggs. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute moron. Oh my god. I'm just realizing it. Probably, yeah, but I realized a while back that I was a moron, you know. But yeah, there you go. Oh no, I just couldn't catch it, you know. Mbappe eggs. That's what you're gonna call this game. Mbappe eggs. Mbappe eggs. There you go. Oh no. I love it. I love Mbappe eggs. Great game. Mbappe eggs. Great title for our game. I love it. It's amazing. Oh, who do we have here? Okay, those retro games with hunters that catch eggs from the 80s. Yeah, that was millennial coded indeed. Well, I don't know. Yeah, late millennials, right? Very late. Millennial and probably Gen X's 100%, and Missile, make a simple factory game next. That would be cool. Oh yeah. I think Kenny has some really cool factory asset packs. Has one that is like a line thing there going on, like a factory line thing. I think has one of those. That would be cool to do. Like, okay, build this thing, like sort of an idle game thing. That'd be really nice. I wanted to make like you know, I always wanted to make a stupid little farm game. I think everyone wants to make one of the... I have a feeling that everyone wants to make a stupid little farm game. Probably because, you know, it's so detached from nature, from coding too much, that, you know, being in the computer is so long that you sort of just want to smell, you know, cow shit. And that's all, you know, cow burped. How nice. Oh, keep burping, you little cows. I love your smell. That's what you think when you're coding so much, and that's it, you know. Misley, I'm also debating making my own farm game. There it is. There's the farmer in us. There's just ancient Rome calling to us and saying you should be a farmer. This is all that's worth it. It's just being a farmer. Everything else, just no. It's just the best thing you can ever do is be a farmer. You know, very ancient Rome coded, right? The Romans, the Roman Empire. Yeah, the bloody old days. There you go. All right, so what we're going to do is when we collide with death, we eggs are disappearing. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to make eggs disappear when they collide with death. All right. And that's the last thing we're going to do. So we're going to make it so that when they collide with us, that happens. And also, I'm thinking like, what's the best way to approach it? Like, if I were my wife, how would I approach this? Like, if I didn't know how to code, how would I try to do this? I would probably go to this, to death, and put something here that says, you know, do something like kill egg, and then have another one in the bird, like in the bird player controller or something like that, that does the same for the bird. But also you want to control somehow, you sort of want to control the egg in a way. So I would say that perhaps, I think the best place to add it is right here. Because here's the thing, we can get yeah, we could do after, add after, and we could say on collision start, and we can say with instance, and get the other there, right? And say so we again, this is the egg, right? This is the egg, just to be sure here we're all on the same page. This is the egg, right? Just rename it to egg to make sure we know. I made it so well. This is nice. This is nice. I just renamed it, and all the variables were renamed. So nice. That's so nice. That's so nice. I'm just clapping for myself, you know, just cheering myself up. You're doing a good job, mate. Doing a good job. Fuck speedrun. Fuck them. Yeah, and we're gonna come here and say remove object. Yeah, object. You have array remove. I added the array remove, and you have an object remove, and you can come here and say, okay, let's remove that stupid egg that just collided with something. And well, you could say that. We could say that. Oh, that's nice. So we could say that add before. We could say if. And let's make it a what can we say? Let's make it an expression, okay? Let's make it an expression. If name, I think we could get object3d get name of other. What is it? And after equals, and after oh, we don't have a string here. Why don't we have a string? Why don't we have a string here? Should have a string. Oh no. Oh no. That's not good, mate. That's not good. Why doesn't it let me? Yeah, when I modified this thing, the search thing, some things just fell off a cliff. One of those things was the strings. Apparently, yeah, I forgot to add the strings. And no vector threes. Well, I could add no vector threes. I knew I had to remove the vector threes, but I didn't know I had to remove the strings. So I removed the strings. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. We need the strings here, right, mate? We need the strings, because otherwise, what do we compare it with? With what? How do we know what goes here? And yeah, we need strings, right? We need strings. There's no strings, so we can't do this now until I add the strings. But hey, you know, whenever they collide with anything, we'll add it. Next time we'll add the discriminator. So it says, okay, if we collide with death, we remove a point. If we collide with, like, we remove a life. If we collide with bird, we give point. That's simple, right? Should be very simple. So we do this, and now we know that if it collides, oh, it's not working, isn't it? Because it needs collision events, and it has none probably, does it? Yeah. Also, did we save the scene? That's another thing, isn't it? Did we save the stupid scene? I'm not sure. Sorry, it's not the scene. The this thing we made here. Did we save it? Yeah, we saved it. Okay, yeah. Just to be sure. Yeah, there it is. But I think we need this. Oh, what? Okay, we got some weird thing going on there. Some egg fell, and another one disappeared. What was that? We have a bug. I think we have a bug. Nice. Okay, I think we have an interesting bug here. Okay. I think I have an interesting bug here that I can test with our Oh, yeah, right. Oh, right. This is a problem I didn't think about, and it is a big problem. It is a big problem. Let me explain to you what's going on so you understand one of the issues. This is some of the stuff that I'm going through every day when I'm building this. Like, this is being built right now, right? So it's bound to happen. This sort of things. So on collision start, we check the collision with this egg, right? But how do we do this? How does this work in the background? Well, in the background, this thing is just, why does it have this little ID? Because it's the ID of this action here, and so that way we have a reference, and so we can get a reference of what's going on. So, but the reference, this block is not really taking that reference in from this specific value that is that from that specific value that came in, and we decided that's the one we need. I'm thinking, I have it in my head. It's really hard to put out in words. I'm very sorry. It's very confusing to put out in words. So here's the thing. This doesn't really work like code, right? This is just saying when we instantiate any prefab, we set this up, and this is the reference for any of the objects. So the next object that comes in has the same reference. You see, they're sharing the reference, and that's a problem. So I need a way to discriminate references here. And that's something I will have to work on now until next Tuesday when we meet again. And that's when we'll see how this works and how we can make that work. Also, I'll add the strings here because to the ifs, because somehow the expressions I forgot. Hey, I need an extra stupid string, don't I? Yeah, kind of. And yeah, but I didn't realize that would happen. I didn't think about it that way, and that caused an issue here. That caused an issue because now all the references that are coming, like from this instantiate here, instantiates this thing. We bring in the reference, create the reference here, and every time we instantiate a new one, that's a new reference in here. And it's not, yeah, we need to wait to say, okay, no, keep every one of them should have, like this should be an independent scope. Sort of like in JavaScript, the same way it happens in JavaScript and any other language, having an independent scope within your block. When you bring in like a reference from a method and you say, okay, that one, okay, it should be that one, you instantiate that instance and not every time just overwrite it. I know it's confusing. I'm very sorry that's confusing, but yeah, it's all I can do right now. It was working every other time because we were doing it with like one specific thing. So either we need to change the way we do things here, or I need to find a way to resolve this, because it's either going to be a different way of coding. Maybe I have to stop thinking about this like JavaScript, or I will have to, because maybe this is the way it works, and now I have to think, okay, I have to collide with a bird, and this happens when we collide with a bird, and this happens when we collide with death, right? So I set up the death collision, and I set up the bird collision, and you see what I mean? So in start, I do like, because that's the alternative, right? The alternative is not that I collide with the eggs, and every egg I instantiate, I do a new one like this. The alternative is that I come in here, right? And I do, yeah, on collision start, with the bird instance. So I will need the bird instance, whatever that is. Well, yeah, I will need to keep the bird instance and do here the remove of the egg and increase of the point here with the instance, and have another on collision start, right? For the on collision start, it clicks. Yeah, and that, you see what I mean? Another on collision start for the this death wall here, the death flow here, so that the eggs know that, okay, we'll lose the life every time, right? That's what we want. Remove it, lose a life. It'll require one more line of, well, 2 more lines, 3 probably. Yeah, which is kind of silly, kind of intense. So it works. We can do it. It's only a bit inconvenient. It's just a little bit inconvenient. Yeah, and that's a problem. But yeah, I'm gonna think about this. This is something I'm gonna have to sit down and think about it. Are we actually rewriting JavaScript? I should just trying to recreate that scope, that independent scope, or are we actually creating a very, you know, linear way of programming where it just don't keep a reference, you know, for more than just one run, and that's it. Like the block itself, you know, doesn't have any, doesn't keep a reference to what is it that I am actually keeping here. If, you know, I know it's confusing, I'm very sorry. I have to see what the possibilities are too, right? Is that actually possible to do? I guess it is, but what's the overhead of that? And is it actually worth going through that overhead for the sake of keeping that scope? Or should we think about this in a different way? So that's my parting thought that I'm going to leave as I think about this throughout this weekend. Yeah, so it's going to be intense. That's going to be intense. I have some baking this weekend, so I hope I can also bake these thoughts in my head as I put some flour and some butter together to make some alfajores. All right. We have someone here. We have Gomitarka here. How's it going, mate? Long time no see, mate. Thanks for joining. And, well, thanks everyone who joined. Thanks everyone for being here. I'm very glad to have you here. I'm very thankful of having your presence here. And every one of you who joined. Like we had, I think, a top of 6 people here or something like that. 7 people at one point, I think, on YouTube. 1 or 2 people, 3 maybe on Twitch. You know, that's what it is. Yeah, it's something. It's just something we have to go through now. You know, have to wait for a bit until more people start joining. But hey, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for hearing my rants. Really glad to have you here, and see you again as always Thursdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. GMT, between 7 and 7:30. Like today was a bit late, so I'm going out a bit late. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.